So my name's Livermore. I graduated from Surrey a couple of years ago now, and that was where this kind of started from, this live performance with Ableton and now my Push 2. Before that I had a bit more of a setup where I had a Livid bass controller, had a couple of iPads, a MIDI keyboard as well. So yeah, that was my first setup, and then I kind of moved into the first Push when that came out. And I realised that I didn't actually need so much of the other gear, because Push basically did everything with Ableton so seamlessly that, you know, didn't really need to have two iPads running, it was running touchable at the time, so and that linked in with Ableton, which was cool. But Push does everything, so yeah, kind of got rid of everything else and moved on to the Push 2 when that came out. So talking about my setup, obviously Push is a big thing, and Ableton itself. Coming from sort of a composition background, that's always in my mind how I can make a song basically live. This all started as well from a DJing perspective, so kind of at first I was playing other people's music, then I was playing a bit of mine inside with those as well. And then yeah, I thought, well, I want to push this forward, and it kind of escalated, and the more I got into it, the more I enjoyed it. So here I am now as well, just kind of continually trying to write stuff live as well as making compositions from it as well. So in terms of this, I try and keep it quite simple in terms of channels and what I use. I mean, I have some go-to kind of a template almost. So in this track, this is quite a lot of channels for me. There's 15 channels. They're all doing different sort of things. So this first track that I played, it all started from the little melodic idea that I started the track with. That was basically what the whole track come from. And I always try and contextualise it as well. So I sort of, when I was thinking what can I do for this performance, I was listening to lots of stuff, seeing what I liked, and there was this track, this remix of Lucy Rose. They had this really like skippy kind of, almost like chops of this melody idea, and I thought, well, that's really nice, but I just kind of didn't quite do the same as there. But I took that kind of idea and then just built from there, and the more I rehearsed it and kind of just played random stuff a lot of the time, it was all kind of improvised, and I kept everything that I did. As you can probably see my screen here, these are all basically just run-throughs of different ideas, and even today I sort of added some more stuff. So yeah, that was kind of the main nuts and bolts of what I did today. Some of my go-to Max for Live plugins are like Grain Freeze, I really love that. Delay, it's called Della. It's basically a really long delay, so you know, in Ableton's basic ones, you can only do up to really, I think it's like 2 or 4 bars. This one you can go up to 16 bars, and that's kind of wacky if you really want to play in loads of stuff, and then 16 bars later it starts coming back in, which is what I did with the second track. Obviously lots of reverb, I love reverbs, just to kind of give it nice space and it sounds nice. And filters, just to kind of change the sound. Always easy to add development using filters, so I always kind of look to filter stuff down and then bring something else in. That's kind of the idea. And then just sometimes I use overdrive and looper, just kind of gives me lots of different options in when I'm actually performing to do different stuff. So if I make like a really nice melody, just randomly I'll just hit looper, play again, and it will just loop round. So yeah, that's kind of some of the stuff I use basically, and I just kind of the standard kind of arrangement as a composition, so a bit of drums maybe, but I try not to do so conventional drum patterns, so I kind of look to make it more, experimental, because that's what I like to do with this live performance stuff. So